Today, ladies and gentlemen, I embarked on a grand adventure, on a deadly animal, one of the most recognisable dinosaurs of all time. In the Isle, the Stegosaurus is a giant, lumbering herbivore. Given its size, it currently boasts the highest damage output in the game.
There we go.
And on the current game's roster, the only real threat is the giant cannibal of the rivers, Dinosaurus. And as for any other brave soul who chooses to hunt down this mighty herbivore, they will most likely find themselves in a challenge that they were ill prepared for.
Would be a mistake. You missed by a mile there, bud.
And my giant grazing animal, it had a perfect life, full of some of the most unexpected moments I have ever had. I discovered other Stegosaurus, and together we bring life into the world. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am getting ahead of myself. Because the story cannot start in the middle or the end, no. We must go back to the very beginning. So I logged onto the official server and prepared myself for a journey that would turn out to be one of my greatest.
Ooh, Stegosaurus could be fun. Let's create a skin.
I took some extra time on it too, because that first task is the most important.
Beautiful little thing.
And after picking a good mix of camouflage colours, I spawned in at the southeast part of the map.
Food, I guess. That's where we'll start. Where's the food at, man? Where's the food at? Cool, that's the Simac. I think that's how it's pronounced, Simac. Anyway, that's that one.
I was getting off to an excellent start, filling up my dietary requirements.
Grasslands. I can hear footsteps. Oh, Utah.
But then all of a sudden, things were not looking good. It was very unlikely, and I was hoping he didn't see me, but there's no way that I was going to survive this encounter.
To be expected.
After I met my demise and became someone else's meal, I was met with a fresh dinosaur creation screen.
Guess we're going south.
I spawned back into the world, this time in the south, attempt number 2.
All that good stuff.
But then I got lost.
We've got a bit of a cliff here, don't we? We do too.
I found myself on the edge of this mountain, overlooking a beautiful view, but a dangerous place to be.
Alright. Just keep going around.
And with it being far too steep for me to climb back where I came from,
If that's possible.
perhaps I was trapped here, or maybe there was a way down. Regardless, I was curious and creeped up closer to the edge. Just a little bit too close.
That's... Yep.
I ended up slipping on the side of that cliff, and that was it.
Attempt number 3.
Third attempt, I spawned in at the center. It was familiar ground.
Get some food.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you end up enjoying my story, don't forget to drop a like on the video. The difference it makes is enormous.
I'll be very lucky to live this.
I would truly appreciate it. I love you, and thank you very much.
A little bit more, cool, and I'm taking some with me too.
Now back to the tale of a Stegosaurus with his pumpkin.
Let's go. Got myself a pumpkin.
And here I was thinking I had it bad before. A pack of Carnotaurus just murdered one of their own. At first glance, it looks like we'd be going for attempt number 4. And with absolutely nothing that I could do, I accepted it. I was going to die. But then they stopped and realised exactly what they were doing. Killing an infant with a pumpkin. I was too calling the pack, hoping to save my own skin. And then sat down to heal off the bleed.
Yeah, you're gonna let me live. Look at them all too, there's heaps of them.
Sometimes you just get lucky, and this was one of those days.
We'll see what happens. If they let me live, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool, you know, like, it is what it is.
Eventually, the pack would move on, giving me an opportunity to survive.
I need to get my pumpkin and get to a better spot. Is they gonna let me live?
They had mercy on me.
Which is rare, but, well, you know. I've showed a little bit of mercy lately, so I guess what goes around comes around.
I don't like letting my water get too low, so as I was passing through, I quickly filled up.
There it is.
That way I would not have to return for quite some time.
Come on, before I get executed. There we go, that's plenty. Well, I might just go AFK up in the bush here somewhere, because I still need to finish healing up, but my diet's alright for now. So.
I can be a little fussy when looking for somewhere good to grow, so I went deep into the woods.
Might as well get that third hexagon filled out. Although, like, that's not going to be a perfect diet, I don't think. It's sitting out under here and grow.
I only came out of hiding the next morning to find fresh food.
Let's take one of them with me. Got myself a fresh pumpkin, and this is a much safer spot to be growing. Because back there near the center, goddamn, it wouldn't be long and I would get picked off, so.
I relocated far away from the hot spot and found myself a nice quiet area beside a rocky riverbank with shallow water.
Over there, that's where I'm going. Just go for a bit of a dip. I'll look out if there's anything in here. If there is, then that is just bad luck.
I crossed over to the other side.
Got my pumpkin, got my nice comfortable spot. Look at this.
It was a simple spot, yes, but it was effective, and a place that I could now call
This is where I plan on calling home.
for the next few hours.
I have survived. I should be right for a bit. Especially with my camouflage in here.
I spent the night there, AFK, growing under a scrub next to the riverbank, only coming out in the morning to drink and look for more food.
With me. Go back to my little home down here by the river. And we are going to be all...
And when the sun once again fell below the horizon and it was pitch black,
Right, I've lost my 30% growth bonus.
I spent my time playing it as safe as possible. There's no way I wanted to die now.
Please be no alligators. See, now I got 3 hexagons of just pumpkin. So, I wonder if that's going to give me the 30% growth bonus. I don't think it will, because you're meant to have like all 3 different ones.
At this stage in my gameplay and growth, I'm still working the basics of the diet system out. But bear with me, because in the end, we will get there.
Look at that pumpkin, you just see how much bigger I'm getting now. The pumpkin's like tiny. Where's the water at? Which direction is the water? 15%. So far, looking pretty good. Looks like we're going to get to adult because I'm in a good spot. Nothing's really around me. And my diet's pretty good. It was just that initial part when I died like a couple of times because, you know, baby, bad area, etc. So far, as long as like no massive groups of carnos or anything come along, I should be alright.
I was slowly getting some good growth on me. It was a good area. I was happy.
Look at my colours. My adult colours are starting to come through on my plates. I think they call them plates. Yeah, must be called plates. I'm getting there. That's my growth. And almost 50%.
But eventually, when I was big enough, I decided to move on.
Just trying to sort that diet out.
I was searching the grasslands looking for sumac, and finally I came across some.
Oh, let's actually get this diet rolling.
But with it came another small problem.
Interesting. I can't fill it up until one of my other hexagons is empty by the looks of it. Alright, I'm going to have to hang around. Wait for my diet to drop a bit more before I can fill that hexagon up. So for now, I'll live under here, kinda safe.
And when enough time had passed, I came back out to fill up the hexagon.
It should be 30% because I think if you have 2 hexagons filled out pretty much. 30%. Cool. So I think you need the 3rd hexagon, which is marigold.
I continued pressing on through the night.
Try to get a perfect diet going. We can. I'm a young adult now, so that's something. But is there any food around? So how much do I weigh now? 3.2 ton.
A quick drink before crossing, but there was something else occupying the water. A little juvenile was punching well beyond his weight, and when I took one swing, he died.
Oh, you did. I one-shot him. Sorry, buddy. Alright, let's go find the rest of this diet. And again, it's not like it really matters. I don't really need a perfect diet. You know, it'd be nice. Yeah, he did too. He died in the water. Lol. I need to sit down. Get a little bit of bleed
I
off.
started to cover a lot of ground that night.
Perfect. We got some... It's a marigold? Yeah, marigold. It's a marigold that way. Excellent. Alright.
And finally, now that I was back in the grasslands, my search was over.
Oh, I have to wait for my goddamn diet. I have to wait for the hexagons. So I need one of my pumpkin hexagons to drop into the 0 so I can turn it into a marigold hexagon. And then I need to find pumpkin after that. And then I'll have a perfect diet.
only coming back out when the sun was up and my hexagon it was empty.
Alright, let's find some more. Should be some more marigold just up here. There it is, see it up there. And I better not eat too much because I think I can still, you know, puke it all back up.
I started to feel confident now. A lot of body weight to swing around.
Pumpkin out here somewhere. I think on the other side I'll probably be better off.
I made a river crossing once again.
The last piece of the diet required. Pumpkins. I'm gonna have a perfect diet.
It took forever, but I was finally on my way to having the perfect diet. All 3 hexagons.
Puke up if I eat too much of this. Am I eating just grass there or what?
But I swallowed the entire pumpkin with a full stomach.
That just happened.
So that perfect diet that I was about to have no longer existed.
That's upsetting. I was wondering if that was still a thing. I knew it sort of was because I'd seen how the stomach like flash when you get too much, ate too much. That's like, I sort of knew, but that really confirms it. That's for sure, but you know, it's part of life. Life's lessons, I guess. Alright, let's take one of these pumpkins with me.
This was a hard lesson to soak, a major setback. I walked away from this experience disappointed.
Alright, let's get a drink, shall we? Definitely no crocodiles. I think they can still grab me and drag me under. I'm sort of at that size, you know what I mean? Pretty sure they can still.
I spent most of the night slowly recovering from food poisoning, vomit sickness.
What are you doing, buddy? Move along. I don't mix pack. I'm trying not to KOS, so move along.
I was being followed by a carnivore and a herbivore, 2 species that should not mix pack. Now, they're not going out there KOSing or anything. They were just 2 juveniles hanging out and growing together. But if they met me 1 year ago...
I'm really trying to be a peaceful stego, you know what I mean?
If I just buy enough time, they'll think I'm friendly. I would have infiltrated their group. Slowly gained their trust, and then wiped them out. Because these mixed packers might be cute and cuddly at the moment, but when they grow up, they're going to unbalance the game.
Peaceful big animal walking around the world.
Yes, I have changed, and even gotten a little soft over time. It's not just about me anymore, but giving the best representation that I can. I came up with a simple game plan. Go get some food in real life and come back in 15 minutes. And when I returned, I was free of the mixed packers.
I need to cross somewhere.
But remember, ladies and gentlemen, just because I'm not a fan of mixed packing players,
Jungle, grassland,
doesn't mean anything. You are free to play exactly how you want.
Like, I'm not even fully growing, but I'm like, still feel very powerful.
I was now on that final stretch and close to fully growing.
You know, Dinosaurs ain't the biggest problem in the world. We are slowly getting there. Slowly. Got a little bit of growth to go still. But yeah, how many people was on? 98. So, I mean, the officials on Evrima they're always capped. It's pretty handy.
What I've come to realise is that I'm definitely a creature of habit. I'm always hanging out in the same locations.
There's all the marigold and some mac. I gotta go to swamps, but I need to be out here to find some mac. Yeah, some mac. Everybody on my there was a few comments on my Dinosaurs, people saying that I wasn't alt looking around in that. I don't know how they didn't see it, because I did it, you know, throughout the video a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm always using alt look, so it's like interesting. But what I didn't know is about the bones. Now, because I'm a rookie when it comes to the diet, I'm also rusty, but I had no clue that you could eat the bones as a juvenile Dinosaurus and get 3 of the hexagons for your diet. Now that's a cool tip, so thanks for that one. But yeah, I do know about the alt look, guys. It is something I use, which is cool. Yep, I still love yous. Stay safe.
I continued to maintain my diet to the best of my ability.
Pretty big job in itself to keep your diet as a herbivore at its best. And I've gone days now without seeing, like, I've seen things, but everything's just ran past me, really. In the distance. It's to be expected. I'm on a stego. Get this hexagon filled out and I'm heading to the swamp. It's a bit of a track, but we'll get there. I've never seen that before. It lightens up, like it goes poof, bright white once it's full. Oh, that's cool. How did I not notice that? But, you know.
That's the exact moment that I made the discovery. When your hexagon water droplet or stomach is filled out, it gives you a warning, brightens up and flashes. I was making my way to the swamps, drinking at the side of the river. The Dinosaurs landed an extremely good ambush.
Barely a scratch.
But realistically I was unharmed, so I crossed over the river.
No, not gonna come out. That's fair enough.
Stegosaurus is so powerful, man.
I'm not actually full grown either quite. I'm almost there, but yeah, I'm pretty much full grown. But yeah, 77% HP. I look a little beaten up, but...
And after having some fun with the crocodilian, it was time to move on.
Powerhouse. Look at my diet. It is dying.
There was no time to sit around and heal. I was getting hungry.
Perfect. Finally. But now, like... now I gotta find pumpkins. By the time I find pumpkins, the marigold will be out. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain to keep the diet perfect. Oh, and that's already empty. Is it empty? Yeah, she's empty. There must be more around here somewhere. It's a good enough diet. I'm gonna sit here under a tree, grow, heal, and...
It was pitch black, my diet was half decent, so I went AFK.
There's no food anywhere.
And then I was up nice and early doing my daily routine.
This Stegos has had the most boring life. I'm not gonna lie. Because all I've done is run around and eat for my diet. It's a typical herbivore life. Which is cool. I'm just waiting for like that moment. With like, you know, 10 Carnos or something stupid. Or even other Stegos that are gonna come.
And one of those kind of moments was just around the corner. But definitely not in a way that I had anticipated.
Somebody saying hi?
There was another Stegosaurus growing here in the field.
Oh, good. Sure.
I then made my way up the hill. We two called each other and formed a group.
I can chill here with this little dude. Might as well help him grow. Do something useful with my life.
But there was no time to chill just yet. My body required fuel.
If I find a female one, you know, I'll try to do the whole nesting process. Try to do the whole ordeal. Well, that didn't last long. Oh, damn.
The young Stegosaurus had a female friend that was on the way. He wanted me to nest with them, but having no clue how to do such a thing in Evrima, they would have to teach me.
You got to keep it in the middle of the line where the tall line is and when you smell.
And then another random Stegosaurus logged in on top of us.
Makes sense now. I thought she was his friend. See, like, I know how to do a lot of things in the Isle, both legacy, more legacy than Evrima, that's for sure, but when it comes to nesting in Evrima, and same as the diets, I'm a Rocky. I don't do it much. Drink up, gents, ladies and gents, gents and ladies, who knows? Drink up, Stegosaurs.
We waited there at the swamps patiently for his friend to catch up. And then finally, there she was in the night vision range.
Oh, his friend finally got here.
She finally traversed the map and made it to us, but there was no time to rest, not yet.
There we go.
And now that two animals had come together to breed, we would have to find a good nesting spot.
Cool.
We dug the foundations up for a nest.
We got a nest getting built. Build. Alright, sweet. Got some food here. Nest is up. First nesting I've ever done in Evrima.
After finding some food and filling up, I made my way back to the nest to help keep the eggs at the right temperature.
I won't abuse that mechanic. She'll be right. We'll drink over here. Be careful, little buddy. You could easily be dragged down to the bottom.
It would seem that there was no alligators in the water. Not today.
And there'd be nothing I can do. I'd be just like a buffalo at the side of the water, looking, watching, because I can't go in there and attack. I've only got a bite. So it's pretty realistic like that. That's for sure. Oops, there it goes. Oh, we have one. Cool.
Inside one of the eggs, a player, and it wouldn't be long before it broke out of the shell that held it back.
Any food around here? We do. Nice. Alrighty, perfect.
I was separated from the nest for only a few moments, and when I returned, There was hatchlings hatching everywhere. And then the begging started.
They all look sweet. They all look strong, healthy. 3 little ones. Look at them.
They were screaming for food, and we continued to feed them. For now, the happy little family was all full. But that did not last long. They continued begging.
Need food, bud?
Then a juvenile pteranodon was taking shots at the hatchlings.
Not much I can do to protect it here.
Being a parent on a prehistoric island, it's difficult.
I'm feeding yous, I'm feeding yous. They're looking good. Whew, stomach was getting a bit low. Now, I don't have a perfect diet or nothing, and I know, well, they were saying a better diet, you know, pretty much transfers over to the little ones. They're just going to grow up a little rougher around the edges, they're just not spoiled. Some more right here, I'll get that one there.
Maintaining both the hatchlings and my own stomach was quite the workout.
I'm coming, guys, I'm coming. I'm here. There we go, settle down. Settle down. Everybody good? Everybody happy? Everybody looks happy?
Unfortunately for the oldest hatchling, they had other things to do.
One of them's logging out. So, that's that. They'll have to survive on their own when they return. That's fair enough. Been there, done that. This one's still small, happy and healthy. That one's going to starve to death in front of us, I reckon.
And then the second one was disconnected from life and starved to death.
Da 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 da. Let's get a drink.
We were down to the final hatchling, the youngest one of the 3.
So yeah, just natural selection, I guess. He'll be right. We'll protect him. It'll take a couple of hits for that Utah to kill him.
But he was definitely still a small thing, so for him to survive, it was going to be a long road yet. And then we said our farewells to one of the founding members of the group, who also had to log out.
To improve these diets a bit.
I made a bit of a reckless decision that night and crossed in a very dangerous spot.
A bit of a dangerous crossing, but gotta be done. A quick drink. Oh, that was definitely dangerous for him. Alright, I'm getting a little bit hungry. Get this one into me. I need some food.
I was hungry and ready to eat, but now that I was a parent, I had responsibilities and would have to sit at the back of the line. It was definitely pretty cool to watch him eat something all by himself for the very first time. And yes, we survived another night.
Excellent. See if we can find ourselves some pumpkins out here.
We left that damn swamp behind us and made our way for the centre.
We'll eat a little bit of a different one each.
Because the grasslands was plentiful with marigold and pumpkins.
There you go, buddy. Pumpkin. Eat up.
But it is also far from a safe place. And just as we were preparing to leave, that's when I spotted a small orphaned Stegosaurus. And seeing how I was already protecting my family, I figured I may as well add one additional member.
You and me, little man.
We adopted him into the family. And when we were at the river trying to get a drink, our juveniles were in trouble because a local Carnotaurus was on the hunt.
No!
Their best chance of survival was to take cover next to a fallen tree, a massive log on the ground.
Yeah, getting in there.
Now that they were in a safe spot, the only thing left to do was to wait the carnivore's hunger out.
Get out of here. He's alive.
And it wouldn't take very long. But lurking in the water, waiting on the juveniles to enter the kill zone.
Cool. We've got pumpkins.
But even after all that, the little Stegos prevailed.
There we are.
With our diets looking pretty good, it was time to find somewhere that these juveniles could settle down and rest.
Welcome, buddy, welcome.
A Tenno came along who was carrying a pumpkin and he seemed to want to join us, so we went from a family to a small herd.
Very kind of him.
But when it was time to move and find fresh food,
No! No! No!
the adopted Stegosaurus was being dragged to the depths of the river.
There's nothing we can do.
He was calling for help, but it was too late. His name tag vanished.
Nothing we can do. Oh, there's two of them too. We should have crossed up there where it was shallow.
I've said it many times, in a game of survival, you must expect the unexpected. There is always risk.
Oh, natural selection though. Was that the adopted one or was that the one we nested in? We should have crossed here. This is where we should have crossed.
I took a moment, sat down to recover.
Get this bit of bleed off.
We eventually moved on and got ready to cross further upstream. But being such a dangerous spot, I was the first one to enter the water. And with good reason, because this prehistoric reptile would have eaten the smallest Stegosaurus if only he had have seen it. If it was just the two of us, the adults, we could have easily crossed, but at the moment, the other Stegosaurus, he was still small.
Cross at the other side.
It was mock biting the air, trying to get under our skins, baiting us into the river. And I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely starting to work.
Alright, let's keep moving.
And it's right then, when I was getting ready to leave, that competitive gamer inside all of us sent me back in.
Move, 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 move. There we go, got a good one on his head. Oh, I just whacked him in the head.
I accidentally hit the other Stegosaurus with one of my tail swings, causing massive damage towards her health pool. I ended up retreating back to the rest of the group. We started to get outnumbered, and there was no point hanging around. After all, we still needed to fill up the diets.
The Stegos, no point, you know, fighting to the death when there's no need. Still got a young one to get him to adult. Oh, he must be close now, look at him. He's like sub-adult or whatever. Tenno's been hanging around us for a bit. Yeah, got some war scars. Definitely made some mistakes on my behalf. But I'm a rusty Stego. Like, I haven't played it in a long time. And this is, you know, where you get better with experience. So by the time I die, I'll probably be half decent. But at the moment, I'm just like a rookie. But later that night, after finding some fresh pumpkins, the time would come for me to have to depart from the family and log out for the day. I've been on for, yeah, way too long. And about 20 hours later, I logged back in. I wonder what happened to the other Stegos. Like how just, whoop, whole pumpkin. Bam. I continued on my journey, but now I was back to being a solo. I can only hope that they lived a long and happy life and died in a blaze of glory. Or perhaps they're even still alive, grazing on the grass in the open fields and carrying around pumpkins without a care in the world. And after I spent the night AFK, let's get to the water. What's going on, buddy? I made my way down to the river for my early morning drink. Just having a drink. We are good. Yeah, I need to head to the swamp now. Oh, yeah, he's close. A Stegosaurus was broadcasting. I called back and replied. We decided to make our way to the swamp together. And that night, there was something coming into the night vision range. It was more Stegos. But they were friendly, and we all joined forces. This was the birthplace of what would become a huge herd. Oh, fully grown Stegos. That's pretty much an invincible herd. He's gonna go invite that little baby one. And before you know it, there was another pair of adult Stegosaurus that would join. Hello. What a beautiful herd. This was by far the largest friendly herbivore group that I'd ever discovered on the official servers. That is a lot of Stegos. Look at us all. I love how naturally formed this came together. I felt honoured to be amongst such players, the herbivore community, so to speak. This is a lot of Stegos. This is a cool herd. We never did make it to the swamps that night because everybody else wanted to go to the centre. I've said it in previous videos, I don't mind when herbivores mix pack, because it's just a herd of herbivores. And with this many animals in one group, we would need to move, in order to find food, water, and better conditions. Untouchable. I tried to take some time and soak in the beauty of something you don't get to see every day. Luckily my diet was perfect before I joined up these guys, because yeah, I'm gonna eat some food, that's for sure. I've seen a group this big before, Stegos, but the last time I saw it, they were KOSing, they were Chinese and they KOS'd me. Looks like that we're starting to separate a little bit. That night in the grasslands, some of the herd would split up and go their own ways. Meanwhile, others would join the group, some would stick around, some would leave. Hello everybody, oh look, there's some baby ones. Man, this herd is huge. And soon we'd see sunlight coming over the horizon. Well, it was a big herd, it's starting to separate a little bit now. Everyone's getting hungry obviously and spearing off into different directions and getting food. I got the nameplates turned off because I want to take some screenshots. I ended up meeting back up with the rest of them crossing the river. A scene that would look like it was almost straight out of a movie. And an experience I will never forget. Yeah, still a few of us just roaming around. Nothing's ever going to attack a group like this, but I guess that's what people play Stego for. The life of a herbivore is slow and not for everybody. Because, you know, they want to have that security and be in these big groups and just... Yeah, because most people don't want to die. Like, in the end of my videos I like to die because I kind of need my stories to come to an end so I can start the next one. But I can understand people who want to just stay alive forever on one dinosaur. This is how you do it. Play it safe in big herds. Untouchable. Roam in the plains. The marching band of power. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fully grown Stegos. We got a Tano in there. We did have more, but the other half like sort of broke off in the night and went a different direction. The ones I actually started with, yeah, they went that way. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, we haven't done nothing. I think these guys want to go kill some crocodiles, which is understandable. We started goofing around in the river like a bunch of wild animals, kicking mud up everywhere.
but not a great deal happened. All the alligators starbursted away. But shortly after, our Pachycephalosaurus did get attacked by a Carno, but when he had a full blockade of Stegosaurus around him, he was safe. And after hanging out with this herd for 2 days, it was time for me to log out.
You guys are cool people.
I logged back in the next day and continued on my journey.
And then get ready to just roam around and see what happens.
I was back to being a solo.
Oh, look at that on land right up there.
Some herbivores were being hunted down by Dinosaurs on land.
Those crocodiles are asking for trouble.
I'd been alive for so long at this point, I was trying not to KOS, but I was getting a little bit bloodthirsty and looking for any excuse.
I'll come and give him some assistance. All these alligators are in trouble. Just casually scrolling up here.
I know that I wasn't invited to the party, but I was going to put myself on the guest list regardless.
Might as well get this one before he gets too close to the water. They're dead.
I did feel a little bit low, like I was doing something criminal.
I need some stamina.
But if you've been watching my videos for a while now, you know that I'm going to show you all of the good and all of the bad. Everything. This was definitely a little unnecessary, but it did happen.
This one might even make it. You never know. Just maybe.
And that's where he would lay rest, to the vultures and whatever scavengers would like to pick him apart. But for now his journey would end and he would have to start again on something else.
That's why you never go on land, Dinosaurs. Because you just never know where a Stego is. You just never know. Yeah, unlucky for them, but you know, them attacking herbivores, that's enough reason for me.
I decided to spend the day at the top of the waterfall, sitting on my own self-claimed throne, feeling near damn invincible.
Guess they're keeping the crocodile population down.
I started to walk around like some sort of herbivore king, disrespecting the crocodilian population and walking directly through them. They landed some good bites, head bites, tail bites, a bit of everything, but I gave them in return as much as they dished out.
I was just casually crossing over too, right in the middle of them.
But the fun and games was over. I was on the edge of starvation and it was time to recover.
Another Stego out there. Get some food. I got a little hipsy friend here.
A tiny little hipsy started to give me company.
Do some more food.
The hipsy followed me around for a little bit, but in the end my tiny little friend would vanish off into the darkness, onto his own adventure.
Food, glorious food. Oh man, this Stego's been alive for so long now. Just don't know what to do with it. I've walked around, I've kept my diet up, I've been in fights, I'm trying not to KOS. I sort of just did kill a couple of alligators, but they were attacking some herbivores and that was enough excuse for me.
I found myself a fresh patch of pumpkins and then prepared myself to AFK for the rest of the night.
Might just AFK here, under a scrub until daylight. I hate running around at night time. Another day. I don't even know what I should do. Might go check upstream again. Seems awfully quiet.
I continued to walk the road of a herbivore to the best of my ability.
Well, there's a lot of carnos out there. Oh, and they're killing each other.
But everything exciting that happened around me, I had to spectate from the sidelines.
Cannibals. So yeah, that's something I didn't know even until I was just reading some comments. If you bite the bodies, then you're going to be ripping the organs apart. What's going on, little man?
I tried not to disturb the local carnivores with my presence too much.
It looks very real, the way they're ripping that all apart though. Like a bunch of savage animals. Gentlemen, that's it. Make room for me. Life of a stego. Not even like 5-6 carnos attack you. Maybe they'll just fill up and then come.
But when nothing happened, I turned around and made my way back to the top of the waterfall, my little throne. But later that night, somebody was making a move. The audacity of this Dinosaurus. This would be the beginning of a new relationship.
I don't want to get hurt.
And the crocodilian would advance towards me more than once. So I casually made my way down to the waterline and had a drink. And when he made no move, I returned back to the rock.
You know, I'm going back up here to where I was resting, thank you very much. You'll get whacked.
This player was most likely just bored. But when I landed that first body hit, I know that he felt it.
Yes, that's exactly right. You go back on your rock. I shall go back up on my rock. This fool's gonna get hit.
And just like a clock, ticking away. Time after time, he kept coming back.
And again.
He continued to supply the fuel necessary.
And again.
With a pteranodon doing a flyby, this was a sign, and it was only just the beginning. If you burn the light bright enough and make enough noise, you will bring interested people to your campfire. So instead of going back to my rock, I went a little bit further inland.
Let's see you come all this way.
I sat there waiting on his next move.
Come down here, buddy.
He was basking on the riverbank, well, more like showing off. I'm not exactly sure what was going through his brain at the time, there's only so many hits that he can take. And yeah, he can escape to the water without a problem, but the water can become his problem. And the thing is, I don't need to kill him, and so I returned to my rock, watching him from afar.
Bleeding out there, buddy.
Risking it. This is an in particular hot part of the map. A lot of activity comes through here, including the river. And if given the chance, she will chew you up and spit you out in the most brutal way possible. So to disrespect a game of survival will end up exactly how I predicted. Mother Nature herself will show you no mercy.
Yes! Another crocodile, nice.
The crocodilian was out of his element, trapped on land, and because he wasted so much of his health pool, he was unable to defend himself and would now meet the wrong end of a Stegosaurus.
All yours, gentlemen. I'll teach him for being, you know.
And after messing around with the Dinosaurs for so long, it was time to find fresh food.
Might even leave here. I'm bored of sitting around here. I'm bored of watching the action, but not being a part of it. Where should I go, though? That's the question. I don't even know.
I ended up making my way back towards the center of the island, watching all sorts of natural events unfold around me.
I mean, you can have a bite if you want, mate. It's not gonna really do much for you, trust me. I can grab myself a drink of water. There are a lot of corpses around.
I made my way down to the river for my daily drink, and soon after that, I came across a young adult Stegosaurus.
Little female. Pumpkin and everything. God damn it, I'm gonna be invincible again. That's it, grab your pumpkin.
She was calling out for water.
That's it, come and grab it, I'll guard you.
But still in a dangerous period of her life, this young female Stegosaurus
Oh, he just puked up.
could easily be dragged into the depths of the river to her final resting place.
Have a drink, mate, have a drink. This guy's pretty new. I mean, I learnt the hard way when it comes to the diets too, but he seems new. Got your water? Let's go. Hello, Stegos. Hello.
We ended up bumping into another family of Stegosaurus.
Look at them all.
I was getting ready to log out for the day, so this was the perfect opportunity for this young Stegosaurus to join another group and have safety in numbers.
Where'd the other big one go? He ran off, did he? You guys hang out together, you'll be right. They can look after that new player at least. Am I going to get away?
I then logged out for the day and returned roughly 20 hours later.
Get that little bit more food, then I might just go AFK under a bush, wait till morning.
And when I logged in, it was pitch black. I hate walking around at night time, so I went AFK under a bush.
Just don't overeat, don't want to puke.
The Stegosaurus is such a powerful animal that nothing could happen to me for days. I walked around without a plan. I even ended up sitting down in the middle of a river.
Catching his first fish. There's a little alligator in the water there. It'll get you.
There was a little pteranodon trying to be friendly, but I had no interest.
I don't want your fish. I'm a goddamn stego.
And it was only a few moments later when he got jumped and killed by another juvenile.
I've seen that one coming. There's nothing anyone can do to me. I am quite literally invincible.
And it was right then when I called myself invincible that a pair of adult Carnotaurus
You can try.
would come along.
It will be a mistake.
But would they have enough bite force, bleed, and determination to bring down the mighty Stegosaurus?
You missed by a mile there, bud. That's what happens, my friends, when you mess with a stego. You'll get whooped. Where's some more food? My food's back here.
There was a tiny little Pachycephalosaurus that joined me. I picked up a pumpkin and got ready to move on. As far as I was concerned, the Carno could now eat his own friend.
Come on. Go eat your friends.
And this juvenile Pachycephalosaurus would end up becoming my companion for quite some time.
Yeah. This little, That's another one.
There was another fully grown Stegosaurus, making his way towards me, but he was here to help out a fellow herbivore. What a legend.
Silly Carno.
Of course, being on a Stegosaurus, I didn't exactly need the help, but it's always nice to have players that look out for their own species. I had to be extra careful with my tail swings because of my little juvenile friend here. After all, he was still using me as a walking shield.
This little Pachycephalosaurus is using me to hide. Which is fair enough. I'm gonna go chill on the cliff for a bit. That one's getting attacked by the other Carno.
Carnotaurus is a cannibal after all, so this is to be expected.
All yours, mate, all yours. And yeah, you get that in a tough world.
It would soon be dark, so it was time to have a drink and find somewhere comfortable to survive the night. At the top of the canyon, I found the perfect spot to watch the sun set.
Yeah, just chilling here.
We stayed at the top of that canyon all night, safe, up until the next day.
So if you're new to the game, guys, and you want a dinosaur that you're not going to die on, a dinosaur that is quite easy to play, Stegosaurus is pretty good for that, if you can get past the initial part of life. It'll be a bit tricky, of course, but let's see who's got who. He just smashed him in the head. Nicely played. Look at his broken head.
I got distracted by the juvenile battle and dropped my guard for a moment.
How dare you interrupt me.
And then I heard more movement. But when he returned to bite me, I got a well-placed headshot on him. The Pachycephalosaurus had a good drink and got out of there safely.
Might even head. She might even go to the center. This guy's getting bigger. He's been around me his whole life actually now. Which is only 2 days in game now. Something like that. But Pachycephalosaurus does grow quite quickly. If you got a good diet. I mean, it grows as quick as a Utahraptor.
Definitely not the safest spot to be relaxing, but when you're on a 10,000 plus pound animal, it's okay. I spent all day there hanging around the centre. I was hoping to see some action, but nothing happened.
Need somewhere to chill, so I may as well chill next to the water. Because, you know.
I could only just make it out in the distance, but that night, there was a Stegosaurus doing the unthinkable.
There was a baby Stego on the end of that big Stego. He killed another Stego.
All of a sudden, coming into my night vision range, there was another one of us. But then it became abundantly clear when he fed himself to the alligators, he was sick of being a Stegosaurus. I would love to see some sort of aging process, a mechanic added to the game, so we could all die of old age. That would be cool.
Stegos just live for so long that they get sick of being alive, and they do things like that. And it's completely understandable.
But if they're going to add anything to Evrima, I would have loved to see Tyrannosaurus.
What are you doing?
I was still trying to stick to the herbivore ways and not KOS anybody, even though I sort of have, to a degree. But this alligator was really starting to step out of line. He already had a body. I took a moment to show him if I wanted to, I could make his life much harder.
Now you want to act like a fool? You won't even get your meal now.
After all, it's not like he earned this body. But there was no real point to me sitting over there, depriving him of food.
Yeah. You stay over there where you belong, my Dinosaurus friend.
What happened next was definitely a bad decision, but it is what it is. He was probably under the impression that there was only one Dinosaurus in the water.
I knew he was going to get killed.
But it turns out there was 2 of them.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen to him.
And then there was 3 fully grown ones.
He mustn't have seen the other ones. I just watched him grow next to me since he was like a tiny little thing. All the way to pretty much adult. And then gets eaten like that. It was pretty funny, but now I feel bad at the same time. Like,
another Stegosaurus made his way down to the river. He must have heard the commotion. We came together and decided to join forces.
Da, 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 da. Nice.
Now I'd been attacked just one too many times. I was ready for a war, and this would mark the beginning of what would become a massive battle. I decided to cross over the river and cut off their food supply.
There we go. Oh, he's like I swung the wrong way.
This war had no real meaning behind it. It was just a bunch of gamers coming together to game it out and have some fun. I understand that I'm a Stegosaurus and this is not very herbivore-like of me. However, they did kill my little Pachycephalosaurus friend who spent his whole life growing next to me. But in the end, when you've lived a life as long as my Stegosaurus has, after having a family and joining massive herds, roaming around the world, keeping your diet up best you can, there is just very little else left to do.
There we go, got him again.
So to be honest, I just wanted to go out in a blaze of glory, so I tried to provoke the crocodilians into attacking me.
I can see you under there. There we go, got him again. They're getting hit hard now.
I was resting on the bank, regaining some stamina, and then finally one of the Dinosaurs made a move. He landed a perfect stun on me, leaving me paralysed for just a moment. Everybody was starting to feel the pain, and my wish had almost been granted.
Yeah, they're definitely hurting. We're barely scratched, I just need some stamina.
I could feel the confidence building in my fellow Stegosaurus. As they were basking on the other side of the river, I went to make a crossing. But it would seem that even more of them would join the battle. I chased a few of them down back into the water.
Got a couple of tail bites on him.
This battle was starting to get interesting now.
One right in the water just there.
A pair of albinos came down river. With skins like that, they must have been survivors. And this one had skill. He landed a perfect headshot on me.
That's a lot of crocodiles.
He gave me a quick reality check. I'm not as powerful as I think I am.
Definitely a few.
2 Stegosaurus is a lot of power, but we were starting to get outnumbered. There was a lot of crocodilians in that river.
Oh yeah, they've all got a little bit of bleed on them now. That's a lot. Becoming a stego war.
But it would turn out that we would not be alone in this battle. Another 2 fully grown Stegosaurus would rise up over the hill to join the fight. Now that we had 4 fully grown Stegosaurus down here at the river, there was no way that I was going to die. But there's also no way in the world that I'll just roll over and give them a free body.
Doesn't look like the other ones are all breaking off. I'm getting out of here.
But it was definitely not looking promising. They were starting to split up and spear off into different directions.
Sit right here, right in the middle of it. The Stegos prevail. Oh yeah, that was a war. And it's still going.
So at the end of the day, my wish was not granted.
It looks like we've won.
I survived and nobody won the war, because everybody got hungry, myself included. The crocodilians couldn't get their body because we deprived them of it, and unfortunately no vegetation grew on that tiny little island. It was dark, I was hungry, and I was ready to log out. GG Stegos, GG Crocodiles, that was fun. All fun and games. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the story must come to an end. I put a crazy amount of work into this one, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you do, please don't forget to drop a like on the video, it helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. A special thanks to everyone who made it this far through the video, and thank you very much to my Patreons, my members, and all of my fans. I love you. This is your boy OwLTime, at the end of another epic tale, signing out. Alright, we're back. On the goddamn Stego, this thing's still alive and kicking. Well, I was gonna walk myself into starvation, cause, yeah, I need to start editing this video. It's gonna take forever as it is, but you know what? I think this will do it. This is quite a nice spot.